Hey guys, this is Pharaoh 2091, and welcome back to Let's Play Apollo Justice, Ace Attorney. Last time we left off, we were continuing the trial of this case so far, and, well, we're pretty much in trouble here. They pretty much believe, no matter what, that it was Maki who shot Mr. Latouche, but I just can't believe that. So now they're saying that we're trying to prove that the shooter, the killer, was somehow cited. So it's like, do we have any evidence that can prove that, though? I wasn't entirely sure if we did, but taking another look at the court record, there was something that's been bugging me. I'm wondering if it's going to work in this case. So yeah, we'll just say I've got just the thing for the situation. Fine, I accept the prosecution's challenge, as I knew you would, Air Forehead. What exactly am I up against here? The prosecution is saying the shooter missed because he or she couldn't see it. Therefore, Maki, who's blind, did it. The defense will please present their evidence. Evidence that overturns the prosecution's claim that the shooter couldn't see. Now, looking back at this crime photo, if you guys take a quick look at it, you notice how when I first saw this, like when we first saw Mr. Latouche dying, you see on the top there seems to be something like smeared. I could never make it up what it was. So I was thinking maybe that could have something to do with it. Don't know, but I'm just gonna take a chance here. I'm gonna say this is it. This is that evidence. A photograph of the crime scene? I don't care much for the smirk on prosecutor gave his face, but this is no time to think twice. Time to press on. Yes, Your Honor, the crime scene. There is something in here that decisively contradicts the prosecution's point. But perhaps you'd best show us this something. Get your finger out of the breeze and put it to good use, yeah? Very well, show us what you're talking about, Mr. Justice. The contradiction at the scene of the crime is... like I said earlier, this seems off for whatever reason. The contradiction is right here. The smeared bloodstains? I thought it was just my blurry vision, but it really was blurry. The way the victim's hand was raised above his head, much like a gesture I've seen many times in his court. It's almost as if he wrote something. Aha! I get it! At least, I think I get it. Get what, Fraulein? When Mr. Latouche was shot, he tried to write something. And what would he write but the shooter's name? And what would he write but it was his own blood? Pretty good, huh? Oh, yeah, so yeah, if they don't have that person, I don't know, perhaps writing a person's name, and that means that a person probably saw him doing it and probably wiped it off. So that means that a shooter could have seen. There you go, right? Thanks for making my point for me. Yes, in fact, that's what I think happened here. That does seem to be a distinct possibility. The victim wrote the killer's name. It's certainly a logical conclusion. Drat, I just wish it wasn't all rubbed out like that. Of course it's rubbed out. Why, if I were a killer, I certainly wouldn't want to leave my own name behind. Neither would I. What? No one has anything else to say here? About what? So the prosecution accepts this? You agree this was the victim making an attempt to record the name of the killer? And that the killer tried to rub the name out? What's your point? What's my point? Let me ask you this. How did the killer know the victim was writing their name? Well, Mr. Latouche was writing something in blood. Once the killer saw what it was... Wait. Once he saw what it was? But what did you just testify about the shooter? I said they were blind. Ah! Yet the crime scene itself contradicts that. The killer had to be able to see. Why would they rub out the name in blood otherwise? May I remind the court that the defendant Maki is blind? He couldn't have been the shooter. Impossible! What the hell? That was weird. Order! 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 The prosecutor gave it, and please explain to me what all this means. I mean, looking at this photo, it seems quite clear the shooter could see. Yet, up until now, it seems I owe the court an apology. The gay veneers are banned with law enforcement ties, yet a murder occurred during our concert. Apparently, this caused some confusion over jurisdiction. As a result, some reports were not filled in an entirely timely manner. I'm not sure I like the vibe I'm getting here. Hey, Apollo, look at him. Why is Professor Gavin all relaxed and smiling like that? I don't know, but I'm not liking it. Like he knows something we don't, and he's about to tell us. I've got an idea. Let's rock! With these documents. But before that, I have a question for a Fräulein detective. If I may? What? Tell me, why do you think that Makitabai is blind? Huh? What did you say? What are you saying? Of course he's blind. Of course. He's a blind pianist, right? So he's... Doesn't Lemonori lead him around by hand all the time? No way. I have a report here on the defendant, Makitabai. According to this, Makitabai can see perfectly well. What? What? His blindness is merely a publicity ploy by those clever Borginians. He can see quite well. Objection! But you said... What did I say exactly? Herr Forehead, not once in the course of this trial have I claimed the defendant was blind. The only one who did was Fräulein Detective. But that's a significant fact, yes. Consider, Makitabai sees, and he was the victim. He was the only one who could have fled through the air vent. I see no problems with this. But what about the bullet holes in the wall? Yes, the bullet holes. I believe Herr Forehead neatly explained those for us. He didn't miss because he couldn't see. It was a kickback from a .45 caliber revolver. A simple accident, in other words. Ah! How's that? I'm afraid your objection has just fallen off of her brighter skies. Gah! This is where the real fun begins, Herr Forehead. Yeah! My God, did he get us good. Wow. We are screwed. I knew we didn't have that. I know you didn't have what it took. You jerk! What was I in here for? Comic relief? Yeah, apologize. Oh, sorry. That's no way to apologize. He's angered and trucy now. Look out. If we can please end the bickering now. Whatever, I'm not leaving. I can't leave like this. I'll come up with some clue to solve in this case if it kills me. But your testimony has already given us enough to convict the defendant. Oh, don't say that. Aha! Aha, what? This bloodstain. The criminal tried to wipe it off, right? That seems to be what happened, yes. We might be able to find out what was really written here. Really? You can do that? That's right, with this. It's called luminol. Luminol. Hey, I remember that. Maybe you know of it? It's a chemical that reacts to blood. Ah, yes. Have we done those tests yet? Ha! As I'm gonna tell you, the blood stains covered a section of the carpet. In order to perform blood tests, that section was removed and submitted. Perhaps we should request it here in court now? Okay, right. Go for it, Apollo. Huh? I have to do the test? You just have to spray the luminol on it. Simple. A chemical that reacts to blood. I've heard of this somewhere. Yes, I believe an analysis is called for. Have at it! So, all we gotta do is spray it. Okay, right? Ready? It's easy as pie. Just touch the screen and spray an area. Here, give it a try. The eyes of the entire court are focused on me. Apollo, your hands are shaking. Let's do this. So, all you gotta do is like that. That's all you gotta do is spray. So keep spraying until boom. That's all you gotta do. It's like 2 sprays, that's that. And you want to make sure you click on it again. Wow, it really works. This must be the power of science. It says IPXX314206. Is that the killer's name? Is he a robot? Maybe it is. I didn't see any of that. Aha! I have it. So what is it? I thought those letters IP access looked familiar. This is an Interpol ID number. Interpol? You mean the International Police Agency? Yes, most are undercover agents working to solve international crimes. But why would he write that number? Why would Mr. Latouche even know a number like that? Good show, Fräulein Detective. Rock on. Eh? Your Honor, we can verify this number immediately. Daryan, are you there? Come up to the witness stand. And remember, that's his friend with a really weird hairdo. Seems like everybody in this game has a weird hairdo. Daryan, you heard what we need. Go check into this Interpol ID number. Sure thing. Give me 30 minutes. No, give me 27. Okay. I'm not sure what to think of all of this. Prosecution's case is airtight, or so it seems. Yeah, if this number is really that of an Interpol agent... Oh, wait! I know! What if Maki Tabai is really an undercover Interpol agent? That would be a possibility. Possibility, yes. Is it? Can it be that? Can it be one that young? Whatever. And one that would mark him as the killer for certain. Why did Mr. Latouche know an Interpol ID number? That's what I want to know. Well, we have some time while we wait Daryan's report. Let's work on unraveling another mystery, shall we? A curious mystery concerning Maki Tabai. What are you talking about? Fräulein Detective, please accept my apologies. I received word that the defendant could, in fact, see just before the trial began. It seemed too much of a bother to tell you. You had me until the last bit. Does this not raise a rather straightforward question? Well, sure. Why did Maki pretend he couldn't see? Exactly. It makes little sense. Why do you think, Air Forehead? Huh? Me? Maki Tabai pretended he was blind. Do you know why? How could he know? Wait, Prosecutor Gavin knows why, doesn't he? He's known for the start of the trial. He's been leading us on the whole time. Is something wrong? Do you think perhaps this is all some type of game? Know that the moment I heard that report, I knew why. I suppose people who have sold over 1 million records really are something else. What does that have to do with anything? There was a reason why Maki pretended to be blind, but it wasn't for his own sake. Getting the picture now? It wasn't for himself? Well, Mr. Justice, can you present evidence that shows us why the defendant had to feign blindness? I guess. Maki had no reason to pretend he couldn't see, which means... No! It couldn't be! Good show, Air Forehead. It seems you thought of something. God, why can't I figure these things out on my own? I hate having to take my own cues from this guy. Very well. Look at this. This is why he was pretending he couldn't see. And it would be this thing. Why? Well, listen to this. That is Lemuroir? Lemuroir and Maki Tabai recall the relationship. In particular, their unique arrangement over the years before visiting our country. She and her pianist, they would always walk together, she leading him by the hand. Even when they got on stage, she would lead him to the piano. She would walk all the way over there with him. That's right, because he was blind. She led him at all times, never letting him go. All times. Yet, we have just learned something that makes the arrangement peculiar indeed. Maki could see. Why did they have to keep up this act the whole time? Well, wasn't it part of their performance? I think there's a simpler explanation. Maki did not need to be led by the hand at all. That could only mean one thing. Really? Really. It was all the other way around. The one who needed to be led by the hand was Lemuroir. What's this? So you mean to say that Lemuroir is... Yes, Your Honor. She's blind. What? I didn't see that one coming. Order! 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 This is crazy. This is crazy, Prosecutor Gavin. Is it now? Please shed some sanity on his madness. The defense has made an outrageous claim. The only thing outrageous I see about the defense is his vast forehead. Yet I see it is not vast in vain. This time. He's quite correct. But that makes no sense! Yeah, wasn't she supposed to be the landscape painter in sound or something? Well, since we have her here, why not ask Lemuroir herself? I believe she was still in the witness waiting room. Apollo, what does this mean for our case? Don't ask me. I had no idea she couldn't see. I haven't even imagined it until now. Bailiff, bring in the lady. Wow. Okay, this is really confusing now. Lemuroir, it pains me deeply to call you before us again this way, and yet I must. Please do not be concerned on my behalf. Those eyes, she really can't see. Really? It is true. How funny is that a tiny life born in a Borginian countryside would one day grow to entangle the entire world? So you are? Yes, as I mentioned before, I have no memory of the time before I became Lemuroir. Know, too, that my memories begin in darkness. The word light has no meaning for Lemuroir. I see. You may recall me saying something toward the beginning of this trial, Air Forehead. What's that? I believe I said it was unfortunate this crime had no direct witnesses. Now, Lemuroir, I must ask you to stand once more. Will you testify to the court about your eyes? Of course. It was never my intent to deceive any of you. May I begin, Your Honor? Yes, of course. Though I admit I'm a little lost here. I think we're all a bit lost here, Your Honor. Alright, now usually I would end the video right here. But the thing is, I think this is like going to be the last testimony before the break in between the games. So I'm just going to go ahead and continue on. And if need be, I might split it up in 2 parts, but we'll just see. So let's hear about her eyes, damn it. I have no memory of the light. I debuted in a world of darkness and sound. My producer came up with my PR line before he knew this. So, silly as it may sound, I had to pretend I could see. Everyone on my staff knew, of course, but no others. But this is a murder trial! I apologize. It was part of my contract, you see. I was to keep my blindness a secret no matter what. Music is everything for me. I never imagined something like this would... She told us the truth in the beginning, but she said she saw nothing. Very well. Does the defense have anything to add? I'd like to cross-examine. But what is there left to ask? There's one thing in her testimony that bothered me. Perhaps it is best we let you get it out of your system. Someday you'll come to understand that the importance of thinking for yourself. Very well. The defense may proceed. However, be aware this court will not tolerate any questions deemed too stressful to the witness. Okay. There's only one part that bothered me. Just let me ask about that and I'll be happy. And the one part that bothered him, I think, was this right here, when she said that no one knew of her blindness, except for the people on her staff. So everyone on her staff knew, but no one else. Really? When you say that your staff, do you include Mr. Latouche? Of course, he knew my manager. So he knew, and that's what's been bugging me. Something the matter, Mr. Justice? I believe I know what is bothering our young defense attorney. You are thinking of when you discovered a body, yes? Is he right, Apollo? Yes, I was. Remember he said ask the siren? Now how the hell can the siren see anything if she was blind? Doesn't make any sense. And this is like, what, the 5th time, 6th time we had to see this flashback already? It must be really engraved in your minds by now. I know it is for me. I just really wish there was a way I can fast forward to this part, but I can't. Mr. Latouche told me to ask the witness, and he named you. Why would he do that? He knew you were blind. I don't know. What did I just say? You need to learn to think for yourself. Meaning what? There is no mystery here if you recall everything he said. Think of his last words once again. The witness siren. You've heard them many times, along with the little play acting by her defense. I remember them well myself, but that statement is not to what I refer. I mean what he said before that. Before? What came before that? Ah! That's right. He tried to tell you. When he said can't see, he wasn't talking about himself. He was talking about the witness. I see. Too bad the defense did not. Well, there, forehead, try relaxing and looking at the facts first next time. Ugh! Man, he's getting us good. I'm not really liking him at the moment. Order! Order! Recall Lemuel's earlier testimony. On my way to the stage, there were 2 shots. I couldn't do anything. Okay, we all know this. But she couldn't have heard those gunshots. I thought we proved that. That is not the most important point here. The moment he was shot, Mr. Latouche witnessed her through that window. Why else would he have named her as the witness? But I really did hear them. 2 gunshots and a man's voice. Unfortunately, such a thing was impossible. The window was closed. We have already run a simulation, of course. But it was so clear. If I heard that voice again, I would know in an instant. Your Honor! What is it, bailiff? Can't you see we're in a session here? We have the results back from the investigation. The investigation? The Interpol number that Mr. Latouche left us. Well, let's hear it. We will continue this cross-examination afterward. Dr. Crescend, your report, please. I asked Interpol about that number. I'm sure they'll find their answer intriguing. Quick work as always, Daryan. Well, tell us about the number. Is the defendant a secret agent? That number, the agent registered under this number, was Romain Latouche. What? Our undercover Interpol agent was Mr. Latouche himself. He was apparently in the middle of an operation. So when he wrote those letters, he was trying to tell us his own identity, and the cautious killer tried to wipe them away. Mr. Latouche was an undercover Interpol agent? So him being Lemuel's manager was just a cover, most likely. There's one other important detail I found. Well, out with it. It concerns that .45 caliber revolver, the murder weapon. Apparently it belonged to Mr. Latouche. He had an Interpol permit to carry firearms, and the registration number on the revolver matched. So the victim was killed with his own weapon, which makes sense. It's hard to imagine someone who wasn't an Interpol agent with such a large revolver. So the victim was an Interpol agent on the undercover op. I wonder what that ties into everything. It's gotta tie in somewhere, you'd think. Yeah, somehow. Thanks for looking into that for us, Detective Crescend. It's a great help. No problem at all, Your Honor. I'll be heading out. Wait, who said that? Wait, she did? Wait! Lemuel, is something the matter? That voice just now... Daryan? Mr. Daryan, is it? It was him. I'm sure of it. It was him? You are saying... That voice I heard talking to Mr. Latouche when I heard the gunshots fired, it was him! It was Mr. Daryan! Is this some kind of a joke? What? No way. What the hell? No! No, what? What? The courtroom fell into such a chaotic state the trial had to be suspended temporarily. I'd never seen that happen before. Of course, it's not every day that you get an accusation like that. Lemuel fingering Daryan Crescend, and not only is he a guitarist, he's a detective. Could it really have been his voice Lemuel heard? Things were changing fast, and frankly, I wasn't sure how I could keep up with it. Hey, no whipping out now, Apollo! What do you mean no whipping out? Did you just hear what they said? Holy crap! She's pointing out that Daryon is a voice. And if we believe her, then that could possibly make him a suspect. Holy crap! Well, you know what? It's very possible. Just because you're a detective or, ties to the police doesn't mean that you can't be a killer. Look at the 5th case of the first Ace Attorney game. Turns out the freaking chief of police was the one who committed the crime. Well, one of the murders. No. He committed the murder. Never mind. Well, I was thinking there was 2 of them. No. Nope. Actually, no. There were 2, and he did both. So, yeah. There you go. Actually, no. Did he? I don't remember the case anymore, but whatever. So, I'm just trying to explain that you don't... Just because you're in ties to the police doesn't mean you can't be a killer. So, you never know. It could be Daryon, but do we really want to believe that? Well, we'll see. So, next time we're actually going to be going back and do more investigation for this case, because a whole lot of crap just opened up for us here, and, well, we need as much information as we can get right now. So, as usual, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys next time for Let's Play Apollo Justice Ace Attorney. I'll see you guys later.